Before you watch the video, please bear in mind that there will be some minor spoilers in the video. Not massive ones, but there will be some enemies that are probably being seen that you won't see later in the game. There will also be some spark units from the Shen's Last Gift DLC. If you don't have that, please bear in mind that there will be gameplay of those. If you do not want to see any of that, then the TLDW of this video is that basically you shouldn't be playing XCOM 2's War of the Chosen DLC as of right now because there are heavy performance issues on console. If you want to continue watching, then you're perfectly fine to do so, but just bear in mind that there will be some minor spoilers. These aren't really heavy, they're not story-based, but I just want to get that out there because it bugs me when I see things that I haven't seen yet in a game. So, without further ado, enjoy the video. If you might have heard, XCOM 2 is going to be coming out for free for PlayStation Plus users in this upcoming June. So like tomorrow after the recording of this video. It's a fantastic game, and honestly, you should play it because it's going to be it's fantastic. Coming from someone who's played Invisible Inc. and seems to have almost an obsession with that game, this is actually like a massive upgrade from that game. It's phenomenal, and you should totally play it. You should totally invest in the DLC as well. There are, I believe there are 5 DLCs? It's hard to tell with the customization DLCs, but basically there are 3 gameplay DLCs that exists for the current build of XCOM 2. There's Alien Hunters, Shen's Last Gift. You may have heard that from the disclaimer. That's a DLC for gameplay. And then there's the War of the Chosen. The vanilla version of XCOM 2 is amazing. And the Alien Hunters and Shen's Last Gift DLCs are absolutely amazing. You should totally think about getting them. They add an amazing different meta to the game than what there is already. With that said, you should consider refraining from buying the War of the Chosen. And so, the reason why is kind of difficult to explain. Basically, if you've already played XCOM 2, and hopefully you have already, to at least some degree, then you may notice that the game performs pretty well for a game that was supposedly only really concentrated on by, on PC. However, that is not as much the case for the War of the Chosen. The War of the Chosen has, I don't know what happened to it, but basically with the overhaul of the coding or something that was explained by the devs, something happened, and on console it is nigh unplayable. Crashes are very frequent. The autosave feature will eat up your saves if you use it. So if you're choosing to do an Iron Man playthrough, then you may find out that you can't get through it without your entire save getting deleted. It is a great DLC, and it's unfortunate that it suffers this kind of issue. And it's not just the autosaves. There's also times where if you have the autosaves disabled, the frame rate is really low, lower than what it is in vanilla. Bear in mind there are some frame rate dips in vanilla, but you know they're bearable. They're not anything that we're probably already used to. But in War of the Chosen, they're on a whole nother level. It's like to the point where in certain points in the game, it's slideshow level. Of course, some people will probably say that, you know, War of the Chosen runs perfectly and whatnot, and there are actually a couple of weird reasons that I've noticed for why that is. But regardless, the general consensus is that the War of the Chosen runs not very well on consoles. Now, I think the reason why some people say that it runs okay on consoles is either because they haven't gotten far enough in the game, because it runs pretty well initially for the first couple months, but actually no, that's not true. After you reach the point where you do your first Lost mission, I'm not going to spoil what that is, but if you do your first Lost mission and you also do your first Retaliation mission, you'll soon very quickly find out that there are a lot of performance issues, as well as frame rate dips and whatnot, and as well as a heavy chance at crashing. So that's really unfortunate, and there's really not much we can do on our end besides just avoid purchasing the game for right now, or not the game, but the War of the Chosen DLC. I have made some bug reports on this to the devs, and I think they are aware of it. I will be uploading the videos that I used to indicate the bug report, what the bug reports are, as you are not seeing what the War of the Chosen is like. Excuse me. In this video, in the gameplay as you see right now. This is vanilla gameplay with Shen's Last Gift and Alien Hunters, although some of this will not show Alien Hunters or Shen's Last Gift, but that's besides the point. Anyway, but the bug reports will give you a good idea of how much more different the performance is to this current, like, to vanilla. As you can see, vanilla seems to be running pretty well, and that's going to be the case for your playthrough of this. I think even if you play through it as well, you'll notice that the performance is pretty good. But watch the bug reports. There's no commentary, but you'll notice after you watch through a few of them that there is some heavy issues. And bear in mind, almost every single one of those bug reports ended with a crash. There's only one that was noticeable. I was able to record without, you know, my PlayStation losing functionality, but you will see one soft crash, the kind of crash where it's like you can't do anything in the game, but you could still close the application. So you may have basically noticed that the War of the Chosen, especially after you watch those bug reports, that the War of the Chosen isn't operating very well on console. So it doesn't seem like there's much hope for playing that DLC. And it's an amazing DLC too. There's very good hype for it, and it's like that kind of hype that lives up to what it is. Like the game lives up to the hype. But unfortunately, because of performance issues, it doesn't on console. So it's kind of sad that it doesn't currently work very well for players who want to have more XCOM. However, all hope is not yet lost. Despite everything that I've been saying about the War of the Chosen and how it really shouldn't be played in this kind of like very quick PSA, I do want to say that there might actually be a chance that this will get solved. It hasn't been solved in so many months after The War of the Chosen was released on console. However, if you look at the XCOM Reddit page, you might notice that there are some. Yes, English is my language, and I use it very well. Anyway, there's discussion that there will be an additional DLC coming out for PC. Now for consoles, that means that it may be further out than even what it is for PC. However, what that does mean is that there may be more attention coming to XCOM 2. There are still problems. There's some small problems with PC that need to be solved. But what this can really mean for us console players is that there is a good chance that they may focus on the console build. So I wouldn't say that all hope is lost and you just shouldn't ever buy the DLC, or if you buy the DLC, you know, brace for impact kind of thing, right? But I would say that you could very well see much more improvement in War of the Chosen. However, I really do recommend that you just don't get the DLC right now, as you don't want to ruin the experience of XCOM, especially if you're going to get all the DLC before you even play the game. If you get all the DLC before you play the game, I would say you should get Alien Hunters and Shen's Last Gift, as well as the cosmetic DLCs, if you want. Bear in mind that those DLCs do a lot to the game and can really screw you over if you're not prepared. But at least they don't provide a horrible experience in that you suffer crashes and performance dips. So get those DLC. Don't get the War of the Chosen, not yet, but you will be able to probably get it soon, if the rumors about another DLC is true. Until then, enjoy XCOM. It is an amazing game, and honestly, I hope that this doesn't scare you from just playing the game at all. It's an amazing game, and you should totally play it. I will probably be doing I'll actually probably be doing a playthrough of this game, if anyone wants to see that, and I go into some details on my strategies, and they kind of vary from some of the more well-known XCOM YouTubers. So maybe you'll learn something different about the game if you watch the gameplay. But that's a whole nother topic for another time. This PSA has gone on for long enough. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy XCOM. Have a good one. One thing I forgot to point out, and I never really figured out where I would be able to put this in the video, but I do want to say that for the potential upcoming DLC, that you should be very cautious to buy that DLC, especially since the War of the Chosen is the way it is. Hopefully everything gets fixed in one fell swoop for consoles, if there does end up being a fix for consoles as well as the DLC actually coming out. But there's a chance that there may not be a fix, or there may be issues with the upcoming DLC, but it ends up fixing War of the Chosen. It may not. Heck, who knows? Maybe the upcoming DLC doesn't fix the War of the Chosen or the upcoming DLC. Maybe the upcoming DLC is something different entirely from the War of the Chosen, like a third super expansion that overhauls the game. And it's fine, but the War of the Chosen's not. I'd be extremely cautious, and I would keep looking at Reddit for reports and whatnot. In fact, I will be probably providing another video on the state of the performance on the console if there does end up being a DLC. That is, whenever I manage to get it, get the DLC. Until then, hopefully everything turns out very well. I would love to see the console crowd enjoy this game, because that would mean an expansion of the game's popularity, and we could see better stuff coming from Firaxis Games, the developers. So here's hoping, guys. Until then, and for my actual conclusion, have a good one. See you next one. Enjoy XCOM.
Got something new. Menace 1-5, status confirmed. The charges are inactive and the package is secure. Eliminate any remaining hostiles near the AO.